Hi guys, Sam and Gino here, just to do a bit of a weekly roundup on a lot of things that we saw over the week that kind of took our eye. And just before we do that, we're not financial advisors by any means, and please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, as it really does help us out an awful lot. And down in the description down below, you'll see a link to the Discord chat where you can talk to other people that are getting involved in the markets, and we try to keep up to date with a lot of news articles, stuff that we see as well over the week. And look, just for our first topic, look, we're just going to get into one of the cryptocurrency brokerages, Kraken. So Kraken delayed their IPO for over a year just because they've seen how Coinbase's IPO has acted in the last few months.
So if no one's familiar with what Coinbase did over the last few months, they released their IPO. They came out well over 300. People were expecting it to go. People thought buying it at 400 would still be a good price.
Yeah,
that was the word. Like
anything
under 400 was still going to be a good price. It is now at 223. It never really took off like they were thought it was going to.
No.
It's probably the most famous failed IPO of this year to date.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it is because of Bitcoin's recent reduction in value as well. Like things were going way too well for Bitcoin and other cryptos like that. They were bound to be looking that they were going to explode altogether, but now that the reduction has come down, like I think it's just it's reflecting in Coinbase, because whether it likes it or not, it's going to be moving with the price of
but
Bitcoin.
I wonder in the future, will that matter? Like for now, Bitcoin is Coinbase's main attraction, but I wonder in like 10 years, John, will they be doing something completely different? Like, will it just be something completely out of, like Facebook was originally at the beginning? Facebook was this very small thing, and they had these games, and no one plays games on Facebook anymore. Do you know what I mean? So maybe Coinbase could have a massive future. I'd be very bullish on Coinbase, especially at the price they're at now. But I definitely
sees that Kraken are not bullish.
Kraken seem to have no interest in it. But look, they're still they're doing the same thing, and they're just delaying a year. They just want to see. They're just taking a safer approach. Coinbase made the first move, and that was pretty much all that's happened there.
So like as we were talking about Coinbase, like they have actually made some progress as becoming more involved in the US financial system. 401ks are now allowing workers to allocate up to 5% of their 401k to cryptocurrencies through Coinbase. Like, so they can pick up to any of the 50 cryptocurrencies that Coinbase currently has, which is just more legitimizing what crypto is, and it's actually a proper asset to put money into. And that just leads us on to the biggest crypto news of the week, and that is to do with El Salvador. So they're a country that is now allowed cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin to be used as legal tender in the country.
So they're originally using. They're in Central America, El Salvador, Central America. They've been using the US dollar to date. Previous to that, their own currency went.
Which has got too devalued from inflation, and so it makes a lot more sense.
And there's other, like Cardano is a cryptocurrency you'll hear a lot of people talk about, and their mission is for countries like this to be able to provide a currency for them to be able to use that isn't going to get affected, and it's not going to be controlled by the governments. Another two countries, Venezuela is another one that has massive
severe inflation,
and Zimbabwe is another one. Like their money is just gone so useless. They're using the US dollar now, and they eventually, hopefully, will use Cardano or Bitcoin or whatever it might be. Yeah. But this is the first move. This is the first move in any country made towards it, and it will be interesting to see how it goes. Whether it will work or not, we don't know yet. But that's at least someone has made the first move, and this is what cryptocurrencies are really all about. They're all about trying to make this change and decentralize currencies. This is huge. Yeah.
But look, that's enough about crypto news. Like, we're just going to move into some of the stock news that we saw over the week, and just some other things we saw in the news too. So Dropbox is a stock that we've owned since around last February. It's been a bit of a slow burner, but since the turn of the year, it started to do extremely well. Can consider a lot of the high growth tech stocks have had a bit of a rough 2021, and this over the last week or so, Dropbox got a massive buy-in from the Elliott management fund to make them the second largest investor in Dropbox. Although like this fund, they generally look to buy out companies so they have a commanding role, but with this they don't have that. They're more of a passive investor, as Drew Houston owns over 70% of the voting power, so they can't make any decisions, but they're just doing it as a passive investment.
And it's worth noting as well, just in regards to Dropbox. So Dropbox is currently at $29. We've been buying since $19, February 2020, and it is definitely worth looking at. So when the big drop happened last year due to COVID, it hit lows of 18. Went from 19 to 18.
Yeah, I wasn't really affected by it. It's such a low valuation.
It is a low valuation. It is extremely undervalued stock. So that's definitely one, guys, you should definitely do a bit of research on, is Dropbox.
Yeah.
And then in regards to more news, Tesla. So Tesla finally released their Model S Plaid. 390 miles is going to be the range on it. It is the fastest ever production car. 1.99 seconds for 60 miles an hour or 100 kilometers. That is absolutely crazy. Starting price is in around $130,000. It is not a cheap car, but it is an absolute beautiful car. It's faster than any Porsche, safer than any Volvo, is exactly what Elon Musk said at the when he announced it. And everyone knows, obviously, that Volvos were known to be the safest cars ever made, and the Tesla has passed them out by miles and miles. The Model X was originally the safest one because it couldn't flip over. They weren't able to flip it over, but the Model S, obviously now, this new Model S Plaid has become much safer. And then they've increased other things. They've increased their system. They've put like a gaming system in. You can play Cyberpunk and The Witcher on. Yeah,
which is pretty crazy. I suppose like the reason they did that is just when you're charging.
Yeah, it's for when you're charging your car. You have something to do. And their charge speeds have gone up a lot as well. So there's really, this car is pretty insane. It's over 1,000 horsepower, and the Model X Plaid is to follow. They did have a Model S Plaid Plus supposed to be coming with over a 500 mile range that they cancelled. Elon Musk said they cancelled because the Model S Plaid was just too good and it didn't need the Plus. I personally think they couldn't develop the battery power for the 500 miles. I don't think they could do the 500 miles. No one has done it yet. Lordstown claimed they're doing it, but again,
Lordstown Motors have actually claimed that they're pretty much going bankrupt in their last 10k report. There would be one that I would definitely be staying away from. As
of now, 500 mile electric car does not exist, and it didn't. We thought it was going to come with Tesla's Model S Plaid Plus, but it didn't. So that's just what happened.
The wait goes on for that one anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
So this one of the other things happening in world news is the G7 summit. We're not already going to get into what that is and what it's all about, but one of the topics that they're going to be talking about is renewable energy. So some of the renewable energy stocks that we picked out, there's two of them that we look at. The first one is Solar Edge and the second one is Enphase. So they're basically the guys that make the inverters, the solar panels, the battery packs, all that kind of stuff. Which is absolutely crazy, is Enphase Energy. So 5-year return on Enphase Energy is 6,840%. People think that Tesla is one of the best gainers over the last 5 years. This stock is absolutely crazy.
Enphase is 6 times the amount of growth percentage that Tesla had. Tesla grew, to be exact, 1,315% in the last 5 years, which is huge.
Yeah,
it's huge. That's a huge gain. We're not going to deny that. Huge. But over 6,800% for Enphase is absolutely bonkers. That is crazy. Yeah.
So Enphase are currently trading a bit more expensive than Solar Edge, but their growth rate is higher. So it's probably fair enough. But we will be doing a later video where we're going to go more into renewable energy stocks, and we will get more information on these picks, and we'll go into a lot more detail than we have.
Tesla is another stock that could benefit from this as well, because they have all their solar panels, their solar roofs, which are kicking off in America, huge at the moment. So
storage, storage.
There is Tesla are another company that could edge their way in there with them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So there's also another thing that we picked up on, which is probably going to surprise people in a way, like, because the pandemic has rocked all world economies. A lot of people have lost their jobs, but somehow throughout this, US household wealth has grown up to 154 trillion according to IGN, and this is a crazy increase from 2019 of 134 trillion. And like, you would have thought that all of these factors would have brought down their wealth a lot more than it has, but when you're looking at savings, deposits accounts, real estate, stock markets, like it's crazy the amount of money that they've gotten. Like,
it is nuts. And if you look at stocks like Restoration Hardware, ticker symbol RH, had a move on Thursday of 15.7%. Restoration Hardware, what they do is they basically go in, mainly in America, they go in and they just fit out the whole house. They go from kitchen, sitting room, bathroom, the whole lot. They do obviously a lot of, only upscale market houses, but they have a 15% gain there on Thursday. It's a huge move for them, and that's a really, really interesting company to keep an eye on. A market cap of 14.3 billion.
Well, it's definitely, just looking at that stock, like, it gives you an indicator of how the luxury home market is doing. Like, so if you're interested in real estate on the high end, it's definitely one to kind of really
These
consider.
are the people that 154 trillion, like, how much of that is made up from the top 7 richest men in America, like, do you know what I mean, or richest people in America. So these are the people that are buying houses and doing it's just the rich are getting richer, and that's what's basically happened in America this year.
And look, just to draw this just to the end, we're just going to go through 2 stocks that I'm actually looking at that I might potentially be adding to my portfolio. And the first one is Berkshire Hathaway. So everyone knows what Berkshire Hathaway is. They're really diversified across lots of different industries, and they have like a huge stock portfolio as well. So basically,
everyone, if you're not part of that, everyone, that's Warren Buffett's company. So not everyone knows who he is, but anyway, so just in case you're not everyone, that's
they're extremely diversified. So basically, if you're buying Berkshire Hathaway, like, you're essentially giving them your money to manage your money as if they're like an ETF kind of thing, because they're so diversified across lots of different things, and that the valuation is quite silly. Like, their price to sales ratio is extremely low, their PE ratio is low, their forward PE ratio is low, so it's a great value play. And look, it's not going anywhere. You know what it is and who it's run by.
And if you have any questions about what PE ratio is, we'll link Sam's video up above that explains that in good detail as well.
So the second stock that I'm potentially looking at is this AMD. AMD is a semiconductor stock. So they've done a great job over the last few years, taking market share from Intel and Nvidia, and really getting competitive. There's a huge shortage at the moment, so that's has pent up demand pretty much for this stock. And I need to do a lot more research on it, but it's definitely one I'm considering. Like, their PE ratio and forward PE ratio, and also growth rates are looking very, very attractive. Like, so once I kind of get more information, like, I'll be doing a more of a video on AMD, definitely. And
then for myself, two companies I'm going to hopefully finish up adding to in the next month or so are Planet 13 and Tattooed Chef. Neither are at bad prices, but I've been buying them both up for nearly a year now, and I think my position is nearly filled out on both of them, so I'm going to hopefully be adding to Tattooed Chef, adding to Planet 13, and I won't have to worry about either of them anymore. I'm expecting huge growth out of them over the next 4 or 5 years, and I just want to get them finished so I can start focusing on other companies. One company I did start buying last month was Coinbase, so I will do a video purely on why and the reasons I'm breaking down Coinbase, but I did buy Coinbase at under $220 the other day, which I think was a great price, and I will do a video in the future in more detail on that when I start to build up that position more as well. So guys, thanks very much for listening. We really appreciate it if you've got this far. Please don't forget to check out the link to our Discord down below. We are not financial advisors. We really appreciate all the support, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and stay safe. Look, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.